Good morning. It is Monday, April 14th, and this weekend was a lot. A lot of stuff happened. I don't think you probably missed a lot of stuff, honestly, because it was so much. I am going to try to get a few videos out today about the things that unfolded over the weekend and the astrology behind it. I will say this, I have a very disturbing feeling that the United States has crossed the point of no return here. It's we're entering some scary territory, and I kind of want to get it out there, let you guys see what's coming up, because this upcoming astrology over the next couple of months is a little scary. It's a little dangerous for some people, okay? So I'm going to try to get that stuff out today, but I do have other stuff I have to do today. So at least over the next couple of days. That being said, today, Mercury is currently, as of right now, it's still in a trine with Mars, barely. But you might have a lot that you want to say. You might be feeling very emotional. The moon is in Scorpio, so that subconscious level and that emotional level is very deep. It is very intense, okay? But the Mercury hits that 29th degree of Pisces here very soon. Now, Mercury is ruling Jupiter in Gemini, and Jupiter in Gemini is the traditional ruler of Pisces, so they're basically in mutual reception here. And what what's doing here, I can't get the words out. What is happening here is sleight of hand, pulling the wool over your eyes. It's very much trickster energy. It's look over here while I do this over there. It is just plays on words and acting like nothing is that serious, and you're reading too much into it, right? There's possibility, there's a lot of delusion, but also a lot of intuition. So this is a very gaslighty type of energy as well. So keep that in mind as you go through the day. The only aspect that happens from the moon today is an inconjunct to that Jupiter in Gemini. So that's later this evening. So you might have a moment later this evening where that intuition kicks up and you're like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing the whole thing. I'm not seeing the whole picture. Something's off here. And you'll see a little shift. You got to let go of something to start heading a different direction when it comes to your subconscious or your emotional self here. Venus is direct now, but it is moving into a conjunction with Saturn. This can also still be very delusional, of course, right? Still sleight of hand kind of energy. However, Venus is exalted in Pisces, which is not always a good thing. Like, exalted just means things happen easily for it. And honestly, I know a whole lot of people that have Venus and Pisces in their natal charts, and they are some of the most manipulative people I've ever met in my life. But they sure do always have somebody in their messages telling them how much they love them, right? So it's not necessarily a good thing, but it does put that Venus in control. Gives it like an upper hand over that Saturn, right? So it could be restrictions on relationships and finances and things of that nature, but it could also be commitments as well. In fact, it's probably leaning more towards the commitment side because of Venus having that upper hand. That being said, if you find yourself moving towards a commitment with somebody, make sure that you're seeing the whole picture. Make sure that they are not pulling the wool over your eyes here. So really, today we need to slow down. The moon is not making a lot of aspects. It's only making the one. There's not a lot happening. We really just need to kind of sit with the things that came up over the weekend. Make sure that we're seeing the whole picture clearly. What's coming up over the next couple months is very difficult, so we really need to make sure that we're staying realistic here, and we're not trying to run into Delulu land and trying to stay all happy-go-lucky and ignoring the reality of what's happening. Okay, so let me pull the cards. Hopefully, the collective cards are better than my personal cards were. Let's see what's the energy for the collective today. Oh, we do have a look at that Nine of Cups. Yours is way better than mine because I got the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Cups is some wish fulfillment. Okay, I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to go somewhere else though. So that energy, that's that feel-good energy. Venus is direct in Pisces. That is some very feel-good energy. Mercury at 29 degrees at Pisces. Again, some feel-good energy. This is an energy of just like that. Hey, we can make everything feel all great and wonderful and light and blah, 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 right? That's very possible for the energy, okay? But what to focus on? What does the collective need to focus on today? The Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. The wheel is moving forward. Excuse me. So focus on what the next step is. May not be super clear, but understand that the wheel is turning. Things are changing. Even when it's scary, and I know I always sound like I'm all pessimistic and stuff, but as somebody who has lived through some incredibly horrible stuff, it was terrible in the moment, and it took me a long time to get over it or move on, and probably not completely there yet. We'll find out. But it does move that wheel forward. You know, it does get us to a place where we realize we have to actually buckle down and deal with our stuff. We have to make a change. When we don't make changes, sometimes the universe comes along and makes those changes for us, and it's generally not pretty in the moment, but we usually come out of the other side in a better place. So focus on that. The wheel is turning. Things are changing, okay? What to avoid? What does collective need to avoid today? Oh, look. You guys got the avoid. 9 of Swords. Okay, maybe feel good. Allow yourself to feel good. Now, this does make sense, though. The moon is in Scorpio. We can tend to sometimes get into a very deep depression with the moon in Scorpio, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Granted, I am a firm believer if you are depressed, feel it, right? But don't let it overtake you, okay? Bottom of the deck is 3 of Cups, so there is some like friendly energy in the air today too. This could be a day where maybe some people are starting to snap out of it, and you're starting to see a little bit of hope here, and maybe you're being able to kind of talk to people a little better. So a little bit of good energy here. I'm glad you guys got it, because I sure didn't. Clarifiers for our 9 of Cups. Clarifiers for the 9 of Cups. You know, honestly, given what did happen over the weekend, the things that did happen over the weekend, I do have a feeling that some people are going to snap out of it. Blatantly ignoring the Supreme Court, a unanimous Supreme Court ruling. A lot of folks are going to go, whoa, 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 wait a minute, okay? Make sure you got a little compassion for them. I know it's hard, I get it, but understand that they didn't really believe us when we told them this was going to happen, okay? And it's because they were told that we were being crazy, we were being paranoid. Let them change their mind, okay? Let them see the light. Don't be a dick to them if they start seeing the light, okay? Clarifiers for our 9 of Cups. Maybe. King of Cups. Like I said, be open, be compassionate, be empathetic, and 5 of Cups. Yeah. Folks having regrets, okay? Folks are, that might be what we're seeing here, right? There is the wish fulfillment of some people finally going, oh, wait, something's not right here. Hey, I've been fooled. Hey, what's going on here, right? Having that compassion for the folks that have the regrets is super important in these situations. When somebody comes to you saying, oh my gosh, I see the light, I screwed up, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I love a good I told you so, but this ain't it, okay? This is not it. So make sure that you've got compassion for folks, and you're willing to hear them out, and you're willing to listen to them. Let them get those regrets out. Let them, unload, okay? Clarifiers for our Wheel of Fortune, our Wheel of the Year, actually, in this deck. Let's see. The seasons are changing. That's why it's the Wheel of the Year in this one. Well, we have 8 of Cups. That walking away, a little spiritual journey type of energy, soul-searching kind of energy, right? Oh, And I believe that is, yep. And death. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we are seeing people snap out of it today. Apparently the people I got to deal with aren't, which is why I got the crappy cards. Anyhow, yeah, the wheels are changing. The seasons are changing. The wheel is moving forward. Folks are snapping out of things. They might want to come to you and be like, hey, I was wrong, whatever. And this is, it's that transformation. It's that ending. It's that realizing that things are not as they seemed and you need to like walk away from certain things. This is a very emotional energy. Putting that 8 of Cups and the 5 of Cups here, this is incredibly emotional energy. It is rough. The death card is difficult, okay? It's an ending. It's a difficult ending. It hurts. It is not easy energy, right? But it's necessary. Like I said a few minutes ago, sometimes it is those difficult times that finally gets people to turn that wheel forward, okay? Clarifiers for our 9 of Swords. We've got the Hermit. And honestly, if you are someone who maybe you knew that everything was jacked up, but you were still holding on to that hope that, maybe someone's going to step in and stop it. This might also be you too, realizing that. So again, it's time to face that reality. Please don't stick your head back in the sand and actually start moving forward, because we got to start paying attention to these next steps, okay? So we have the Hermit and one more, please. But 9 of Swords with the Hermit. Don't get too far in your head. And the High Priestess. Okay, yeah. Don't get too far in your head. Yes, you need to do the soul searching. Yes, you need to listen to your intuition. Okay? But don't beat yourself up because you didn't before. We can tend to sometimes, we get mad at ourselves, right? We feel stupid when we realize that we've been lied to or manipulated. We get angry. I fear that we're going to see some of that happen in the world around us when folks are actually already starting to realize, but as it continues to grow, that they were lied to, that they were played for a fool, right? Don't fall into the depression of that. I know how easy it is. Been there, Just do the inner work, listen to your intuition, look within, but don't get stuck there, okay? You're going to need to be active here. Bottom of the deck is 3 of Wands, so there is something coming in. But there's something about this thing that's coming in that, yes, it's a good thing, but it might be hard to accept it, is what I'm getting here. Like, don't block your manifestations by beating yourself up, if that makes sense. But definitely, things are changing. A lot more people are coming around. A lot more people are seeing what's going on. But they're going to have some regrets. They're going to have some struggles with it. They're going to have a very difficult time with that transformation. Don't kick them out to the curb because they made mistakes, okay? Just keep that in mind. Keep yourself open, okay? I've been seeing a ton of comments all across social media where people are like, oh, well, screw them. They made this decision. They were lied to, okay? Just remember that. You've been lied to. You fell for dumb shit before. We've all been in a relationship or a friendship with somebody who lied and manipulated us. They were lied and manipulated to on a grander scale. You can't hold that against them. If they're ready to have a conversation, have the conversation.